Hey everybody, long time no see. King Beaver Shot here. I know it's been a while since I made a video, but so much has happened. So much. We're going to be talking about a lot of stuff today, but first off, got to get the disclaimers out there. This is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, and I'm not really an expert per se. This is just what I do, and this is what I've noticed about the game, about theories about breeding and all that stuff. It's what I'm doing. Be sure to do you guys' own research for sure, and find out all the articles. I'll put some links in the description below to places and websites that have all the info about breeding, coat colors, Z numbers, what's the genotypes. I'm not really going to go into that today because I do have other videos where I talk about that. I mean, they're a little dated when you talk about, numbers, like for money of horses and stuff, but the information's not unchanged. So check out those earlier videos where I talk about coat colors and Genesis versus Legendary, etc., etc. And lastly, I just want to say, give me a like. Give me a subscribe. I'll make some more videos. I usually do. And, I go months in between sometimes, but all the information is relevant. And I really appreciate it. And if you don't like it, give me a thumbs down, because I do have my haters, and I can take it. Have any questions or comments? Hit me up in the comments below. I'll try to answer them. And if it's a topic someone wants me to cover, then maybe I'll make another video about it. It's been a minute since I talked to y'all, or even did a video. I mean, I cruise the Discord a lot, and I troll it. I might not be on there and talk a whole lot, but I definitely watch. And if you're new to Zed, welcome. This is King Beaver Shot coming to you in the real life. I remember when this number lay here used to say 200 users, and even if it was that many. But I was a big believer in the program early, and I still am. Zed's got a long ways to go. Some people are like, am I too late? No, I definitely don't think you're too late. In fact, I think you're still early. I mean, look at all these races. I mean, back in the day, we only had like 5 that would show. And the only way they would get filled up is if 3 of us or 4 of us would decide to put 2 to 3 horses in them. I mean, we used to sit around groups and like, hey, let's meet on Saturday and let's everybody race. And to me, Lucky Jackie Coobs, Great White Stables. Who else is in there? Murphy. Oh, dang it. The guy that did the Mako Stables, I want to say. It's another one. There's a good handful of us that would get together and we would just race. And we'd do like 15 races in a row. And we'd all have a good time and betting and racing. And we did pretty well. It was a lot of fun. And not that I want to rain on every parade, but this is fun too. But it is, man, do races fill up fast. And you really got to check out the competition, which I do enjoy, because before it felt like these class 1s would sit here for a minute and it just allowed horses like this fucking dick. You know what I mean? Star Strider, 233 runs, 13% win percentage, 23% placing. Not terrible. This is decent. But the closer to 20% that number gets, the more of a winner horse it is. But it has won this guy 10,684. Now, when you do the math on average, if you just want to do a $5 average for 233 races, that's only about $1,200. So I guarantee he's in the green. However, I hate running against horses like this. Because Zed, the more you run them, the more experience they get, and it gives them a little boost to their performance. So I feel like people who can definitely push the envelope of racing, right, get a slight edge. I think Zed should cap it. Personal feeling, and they might. They're going to be introducing fatigue. It will be a real thing. I don't know what fatigue means. Does it mean that you're only going to be able to race this horse once every day, or does it mean once you hit a certain limit, then there's more restrictions put on you how many times you can run it? I have no idea, but I do know they're going to be introducing a variable fatigue. But right now, there is none. So when you see horses like this, be wary of entering these races, especially if you have amateur horses. Like, wouldn't you consider that amateur? Cougar? He's only ran 25 times. He's got to go up against a dickhead horse that's ran 119 times. Or this one, 233 times, 157, 254, 133. Holy shit, fucking Cougar, my boy! My boy Cougar. 263 races. I'm like, come on, man. Woo, you've been killing it. Look at that. Third, first, third, first. You due for some losses, mind a mantra. Due for a loss. I hope Cougar brings it home, but it ain't looking so good based on races ran. God damn, I mean, he's an amateur by far. Look at that. 25. I think the lowest horse in here is 83 that I saw. Some bitch. And hey, my videos aren't PC. They don't leave out cuss words. I'm not going to tickle you behind and give you the freaking, the salesman pitch. I'm going to give it to you real in how I feel. U.S. Marine for a reason. Maybe a dick. Like, look at this. Like Taco. I love Taco Tuesday. He was my horse. He's my boy. And I'm glad he's running them. 77 runs, 9%, 22% placement. This is not bad for Taco. But what I've noticed is some of you people are running these horses in races they don't belong in. I mean, I love Taco Tuesday, but this 1,000-meter race is not his jam. Not his jam. P.S. I love you. If I remember right, he likes a short run. So he should actually do well. He probably might be okay in this race. But Taco, he likes, if I remember right, he's an 1,800 meter, 2,000 meter one. So if you're watching. So the point of this video is to tell everybody how I feel about all the updates, everything that's happened. I mean, it's been months and months, so there's tons of information to pass to the people. And some of you new people think I'm full of shit, but that's cool. I have my haters. You can join them. Ooh, 1,600 meter. Got a horse just for you. Just for you, Cougs. He likes the 1,600 to 1,800 meter race. And that's what I would suggest to people. Once you figure out what distance your horse likes, don't deter from it. I've noticed a lot of people playing the guy who bought Billions, for example. Love Billions. He's great. But I've seen him he's put him in the races at 2,400 meter. I've seen him in races for 1,000. Like, that's about as broad as the spectrum gets. And some horses, sure, can they run the gamut? Probably. But they all have their predetermined preferred distance. In Billions, just putting out their adventure club, he likey the 1,400 to 1,600. Just saying. Take my word for it or not. But let's watch a race. Because I got in an argument today with some people about the visualizations because they think the visualizations don't tell you anything. And I disagree. But, I mean, maybe it's a thing they changed, but I've been doing this for a while. I was in early beta testing as well before they even, God damn it, fuck, I'm going to have to edit this out. Before they release it to, like, the public, I guess, would be a way to say it. But we're going to watch a few races here, and we're just going to do replays, and I'm going to tell you, I'll even watch races my horses aren't in. Let's watch this one. All right? So here we go. This race, 1,800 meters. Let's check it out. Slap shot. Amaryllis. Oh, and that's not a bad win percentage. Woo, look at that Brock. Brock's a badass horse. You gotta watch out for him. Ah, damn doofy. Always killing it. Ooh, you got a couple on this one. My ducky on edge. What a great name. Z2 Gen. Yeah, so these are Genesis. Z1 Gen. Taco Tuesday. Oh, I love this horse. I did not want to sell him when I did, but yeah, you got to take your profits when you can, people. That's a lesson I learned a long time ago. 1,800 meters. Remember what I was saying how Taco's preferred races are 1,800 to 2,000? Let's see how he does. Like, you can check out odds. I haven't been because I go off the visuals, Jimmy. But the visuals are just there for visuals. They don't show you anything. I disagree. Disagree. Now, at the end, sure, I don't take the end into account at all. What I'm looking for is the break. When do they break? Do they come on early and fade? Do they come on late? And it's just not, they don't have quite enough time to catch up. If they break late, more than likely they're a long distance horse. If they break early and then get beat, more than likely they're a sprinter. And the mid game is a little bit tougher to judge, but you know, it's all in the break time. Look right here. You see this? Bam, broke. All these three, this pile right here, all broke at the same time. My boy Taco. And like I said, I don't have a horse in this race. Now see how Ducky on there started kicking about 700 meters to go. You have to look. When do they kick? Can they hold it? Do they maintain? They all seem to not really be moving on each other a whole lot. Man, look. Way back here. Like, my guess is this horse right here, not a long distance runner. He liked the short game. Oh, look, Brock took Tuesday. Oh, see, right here. Glorious Hero. You see how he had that late kick? But I bet Glorious Hero likes a long race. When I mean long, I mean like 2,200 meter, 26. And this sure is all aesthetics. But you have to watch, when does your horse break? Does it break early? Does it break late? That's the most important thing I'm looking for. Taco Tuesday coming in second. Brock is a badass horse, so you got to watch out for him. Ducky on Edge, he ended up coming through at the third. So, that's that. 1,800 meter. So that's what I tend to watch. Let's see if I can find any of my horses in here. Is this the results page? I don't have any in here in the last freaking while. I mean, I've been on for a minute. Look at this. Isn't that an impressive number? 43,000 races ran. 799 races. Over 4 million paid out in winnings. Way to go, Zed. That's awesome. You know what I mean? That's just awesome. Use these filters, and one thing I have noticed with these filters, if you do click more than one, it gets real pissed. Oh, shit. They got mad at me already. Never mind. Oh. Okay, 1,200 meter. I got a horse in mind for this one. And gate preference, they say don't matter right now, but I tend to like. I have my lanes I like. Crusher. Oh, look, another 1,200. He likes the short game, so. One thing I learned, you gotta be quick. You gotta be quick. All right, so when it comes to breeding, a lot of people have asked me, what do you look for? How do you do it? What's your end game? And the main thing to know is that males breed 7 times a month, and it goes from their birth date, from reset to reset. So you need to look at that when you're on your horse. And females can do twice every 30 days. And my end game has always been to get winners, breed them, sell offspring. Right? That was my main interest when I first got into Zed. And to do that and be successful, you're going to have to breed winners. because no one's going to buy from a stable that just puts out donkey after donkey. So you might have to put out some capital to go get either A, buy winners or find them. And sometimes it's just like shooting a shotgun. Grab a handful of horses, race them, see what you got. Sometimes you end up with a donkey, and it sucks. It does suck. But I wouldn't say they're a glue factory right away. They haven't introduced fatigue yet. They haven't introduced lane preference yet. They're also going to be introducing gear and jockeys. Maybe that can make up for something your horse is lacking. You know what I mean? So just because your horse is struggling right now, maybe you won't. Maybe he likes wet weather. Maybe he likes, because that's another thing they're going to introduce is weather. Maybe he likes to run in the mud. You don't know that for sure. So I wouldn't give up on a horse, but I definitely would stop racing him after 20-ish. If you haven't got a dub in 20 or 30 wins and you think you found your distance, you might want to just hold off for a minute. Don't just keep throwing him against the wall and hope he sticks. Find his niche. If he doesn't have it, I wouldn't say he's garbage. I would say try to find something else in the meantime that is working right now. Okay. That's what I would do. And what I believe is a good stable. Like I have 40 horses, and I used to say 240. It is okay to take profit. But some of these horses, I wish I would say like they're breed type. They don't say until you click on them. Bohemian, he's legendary. Salio, legendary. But he's Genesis, D is silent. These 3 horses I caught in the last drop. Blue Haze, and yep, he's yellow. Sorry, everybody. Mean Machine. C1 Genesis filly I got. Unraced, beautiful horse. I'm probably going to keep her that way. Because for some reason, what I've noticed in the secondary market is even if you have horses like Lushing, decent win rates, Solo. His win rates dropped a little bit, but I've also been putting him against a little stiffer competition. Cougar, my boy. He's another good one. Right? But I've ran them not bad. It was not like I've totally sat on them, but I don't sit here and wait for every freaking race and go click, yes, enter. How many races can I enter in a day? I don't do that. I am actually quite picky, and I look at competition. I look at distance, and if they're not the distance that's preferred, I don't fucking run them. That's just how I am. Cougar's a good horse. Horizon Dawn, pretty sure this horse is good. I mean, he's doing well. 13 races? I mean, really? And some of these horses I've bred quite a few times. 15 races, 14. I mean, I haven't gone crazy. This horse I bought with one offspring that one offspring hasn't ran. But my point is, I've gotten way more offers for my Griffins than I have my raced. And I'm not sure why. Because some of these horses are good. Now, Jay, he gets jealous of this horse. He liked him some Crusher. But Crusher's awesome. So when you're shopping, click on details, it'll tell you. Take you to 3D view, but here's your coat colors. If you see an SC in here, that means super coat. And a lot of people don't know this, but if you breed 2 parents of the same coat color, and the offspring happens to be that color, they'll be a super coat. Which I sold one by accident. I didn't realize when I did it, but I was too late. So good luck to, congratulations to whoever scored that from me. I've been playing the game for years, a good 2 years before I actually had a super coat. And then I sold the fucker. Like, god damn it. Didn't mean to do that. But Crusher, he's poppy. Billions. Oh, I love that horse. Billions is great. But congrats to his new owner. But here you can look. I still have August Sunset. She's a Coral Wave too. Her parents ain't too shabby. As bad as you remember. Bully. This is what I do when I just look. I just shop. I call it shopping. Let's go shopping. What are horses going for? Here is another place you can go. Most people don't know. If you go to the roster, it'll show you like when a horse is bred and born, they're put in here. Oh, Superior was getting after it before they shut her down. All right. But one thing I did notice of all these horses that are being born, a lot of high teens Z numbers. Very few were these low Z number horses. Very few. And the other thing I would recommend to people is watch breeding when it opens up. I was able to score because I think Zed set the fucking minimum too low. I mean, they had the low set on a Genesis level all the way around was 73, whether it was a Z1 or a Z10. I felt that was too low, but there was people that would try to put their stud in for the ultimate low and breed with as many times as they could before they, get sniped. But it wasn't happening. And this is in the case of Bohemian. I just happened to be on and I saw this horse. Tough choice. In stud for the minimum. Well, this horse. Now, granted, he's only ran 13 times. But man, to win 4 times out of 13 and be a Z2 Genesis, that's awesome. I've had a lot of offers for old Bohemian. I sold this horse right here, taxation and theft. Look at it, 25%. He's only ran it 4 or 5 times, but still. You know what I mean? That's what you want to look for. Find these gems and breed with them. So that means you need a filly. Your filly doesn't even have to be good. If you can get him with a dad that's awesome, it may make up the difference. Like as you saw with August Sunset and Crusher, I haven't ran fucking August Sunset at all. That is dad's billions. Happen to be good. I don't know what the probability is. I haven't really sat on it much. But I do know he's a winner, and winner means money. And that's the other thing. When you think of it at a breeding level, these horse prices aren't that ridiculous. Because if you can breed and sell offspring for, say, even half of the Ethereum, which is what now, $1,200 for 0.5? Yeah, you get 2 of those a month as a female, that's $2,500 a month. For a year, that's, what is that? You feel me? Pushing 30 G's. Not quite, just a little shy. For a female. So, but the lower the Z number, the better. And the only time I've been pulling those premiums are for like Z4 or lower with winning parents. But the fact is, like you can get it, and those people will probably get winner horses, and those winner horses will probably pull in enough revenue to pay for themselves, etc., etc. So pricing on horses really isn't that bad. I mean, some people might come in and golf, but I mean, you can dabble in the high teens Z numbers, but in my opinion, if you can stay under 10, Z10, Z3, even if they're legendary exclusives, you're still going to sell horses for $1,000 a piece. Call me crazy, but I don't think I'm that crazy. Now, I do think it's crazy to think a horse is worth $1 million in 3 or 4 months, but hey, I could be wrong. You never know. So I was talking about how, pricing our horses. That's right. So when you look at the price of horses, I mean, in the end, they are going to pull a premium because that's what they deserve. Look at my boy Crusher right here. I made $1,500 on him. And that doesn't count entry fees and stuff. And I don't really get into figuring out how much I paid and all that. I probably should, but I don't. It's because I've been doing it so long. It's just kind of like whatever. But it's just going to be interesting to see where prices settle down at. I think you're going to find there's some stables out there that are going to want $1,500 a breed for their Z1. But in the end, that might not be too bad, actually. When you think about it, for a winning horse, to pay $1,500 to get an offspring, if you have a female that's pretty good, I mean, there's a solid chance. I mean, that horse is going to be worth 1 Ethereum at least. You know what I mean? So when you're looking at those stud fees, that don't totally golf, because that horse, more than likely that you breed, even if you don't race it, you're going to be able to sell it for profit, even if you don't race them. And if you race them and prove them, you're probably selling for even more. But to my dedicated followers and subscribers, I'll tell you this, that right now I'm seeing more value in unraced horses than the ones that have been raced. Now, granted, some people are willing to pay if you do have a proven horse, but it's not that much more than what market is. I mean, they're more than willing to pay the same price for an unraced horse as they are a raced horse. So in my opinion, if you want to be a breeder and sell offspring, you need to get yourself a large stable of females. And then you need to race them and figure out which ones are, which ones are good. And then breed those little females, right? And then you'll be able to sell their offspring for profit. Like, I could run Thunderbolt more. I need to run all these ladies more, because they're all pretty good. Pandemonium, I have not decided what to do yet. When I bought her, she had already bred once, but she's unraced. I was going to go to the details on him. No one's raced this horse either. Financially unstable. That's a cool name. Raced this one time. It's alright, but that's it. But Pandemonium is my only... Well, I have another one too. Let's scratch that. I did buy one in the last drop. Mean Machine, unraced, unbred. Now, I'm not sure if I'm going to keep her that way or if I'm going to race her and breed her, because as I showed you, I'm down to 1, 2, 3. I have 3 Z1s females that I breed. What is that, 6 horses a month? Pretty good if I just sell them. I mean, I'm not going to sell their offspring for anything less than at least 0.5 Ethereum. More than likely, probably 1-ish, depending on who I am able to breed them with. Right? If they get if I can find myself a really good stud, it's going to pull a premium. If I can breed them with myself, that just increases my profit margin. But, people are going to snipe off you. You just got to be fast. Or, like some people have been doing, they set a higher stud fee and they just pay it. Which, I don't know if I'm down for that or not. You know what I mean? We'll have to see how it goes. And when it comes to coat colors and stuff like that, some people like them, some people don't care. And if you do care, don't sell them for anything less, and tell them it's like, hey, sorry, I'm pulling a premium for my the color that she is or he is. But personally, I mean, I do see some value in color, but I'm not like one of those collectible people, and I've never really been that way. Even with gold coins and silver coins, I'm like, I really don't care about the numismatic or collector value of it. Even though I do see it, and it is there, it's all relative, and you got to find someone who's willing to pay for it. That premium that you set on the color or the name, etc., etc. And good names do go a long ways. Like, you'll be able to sell horses with cool names, but you can also sell horses that are unnamed. So another strategy you can do is line up a breed. If someone wants, say, me to breed Thunderbolt with Blushing, for example, let's get rid of the gender. Oh, we'll just put them all on here. Screw it. If somebody wants me to breed Thunderbolt with Blushing, right? It's going to be a premium. 1, for choosing it, and 2, I'm going to have to breed that horse. These two together, I'd probably sell the offspring for at least 1 Ethereum. It might even be more, depending on who it is asking, But you don't have to name the offspring to sell them. You can just transfer that horse to that new stable, and then they can name it. So that's another way you can do it, by just hitting up, the Discord. promoting your horses, etc., etc. And no one really knows when breeding's going to come back out, but it will. They just got to hash out what caused the 4-parent freaks. Sure, I'll accept you, Sean Chetty. Whoever you are. All right. But go to here if you're not on Discord yet. You need to be. This is pretty much where they put all their announcements, and this is where you can be in contact with the Zed team and all that. And if you want ideas of prices, go to this want to sell, right, or a price check page. I kind of go here, and what I've been seeing is, man, people want some freaking paid. Z9 Zabo exclusive. That's not bad. 11% win rate, 45 races. Could be a good horse. Could be a good horse. But come in here and go shopping, as I call it, just to see. And I'm amazed how many people are in here. I mean, every time I come in here, there's so many new sales of horses. So come in here, and then you can get your links to all these people and see if you can get yourself some good stock. Because sometimes some people fall on hard times, and I mean, it's sad to say take advantage of them, but maybe they're willing to sell it for a little less than what market is, just because they need the capital. And a lot of that's what I did early on. It's like prices fluctuate in price. When I'd see someone list a horse for way less than what I thought they should go for, I'd buy it and just hold it. Had no intentions of ever really running them. So I probably should have held on to my freaking higher Genesis horses, but I wanted the platform to grow, and it was profitable. And there's nothing wrong with taking profits. Nothing wrong with it. So let's see how I did over there. Oh, look, Crusher got a dub last night. And this is another way, when you start getting a lot of horses, I'll just enter them, especially when I nail down their distances. And sometimes, like I said, I think you can see it in the visual, but maybe you can't. Maybe I just got lucky with it, and I just happened to get them in the right races. Results is what shows you the most. You can look at odds all day, but you got to really take into consideration who you're running against. Right? He got first. He beat a Z1. But there's a lot of Z9s, Z4s. Not that these aren't great horses. I'm sure there's some good ones in here, but you have to take that into consideration. But when you look at that results page, or winnings, sometimes I'll just go here to look. And as a quick reference too, I do this. I'm like, oh, there's a 2,000 meter race. Do I have any 2,000 meter races in that class? And I'll look. I'm like, oh, look, right here. And I have most of these horses memorized now because I was able to shrink my stable enough that I know where to go. And then this is a little bug. I don't know if Zed knows, but it's not showing the correct color for your horses in the winnings page. But pretty much I just shopped around in the distances. I'd run them short. I wouldn't just slowly go up by 200 meters a time. I would either run a 1,000 meter race, or then I'd race a 2,400 meter race, and then I'd race a 1,800 meter in the middle just to see how they do. And one thing I've noticed, certain horses too, as you go, you'll start seeing their times improve. If their times are improving, that's good news. Once they start peaking, sometimes they'll just hang out at the same timeline. But racing strategy, I wouldn't say I just throw stuff against the wall, but I kind of do at the beginning, because it's important when you're doing your first 10 to 20 races that you're not messing up and picking the wrong distances and keep just messing up, because you're really affecting your horse's percentage for winning. So if you can the faster you can dial it in, the better stats your horse is going to have, and the more they're going to be worth to third parties looking in to your stable. Because I've had horses that took me a minute to figure out, and it was frustrating, and I wasn't able to sell them for as much as I thought they were worth. But I still made hefty profit. But I'm like, if if I'd have figured it out sooner, I probably could have got more even. So I know I'm rambling. I'm going to have to edit this quite a bit. So I just wanted to finish up on that note about, you know, breeding, racing, what you need to do for your stable. What's your goal? Do you just want to stud out? If you just want to stud out, get males. If you want to, I do both, because you just saw females can only go twice and males can go 7 times. So if you have the same number of males as females, you're going to get some extra money from your males in the stud market if they're good. So I try to stay the lowest set number possible. Genesis are legit. Your legendaries are going to sell well. Exclusives will sell well. Once you start getting elite and stuff like that, that's kind of more out of my realm because I don't race those lower classes. There's probably other stables out there that are way more in tune with like class 5, class 4, class 3. Like I have some class 3 horses. Like a lot of your offspring will end up there first. But most of my horses class 1, class 2 that I'm in. And well, another reason for that, the payouts are higher. You know, the entry fees are also higher. But if you're willing to grind, save up your money, and buy that upper tier. Get into it. I know people are like, oh, that's so expensive, but you know, the last drop, Z1s were $16,250, I think. They might be 20,000 on the next one. I think there's only a couple hundred Z1s left. That's a bunch, but in my opinion, if you're able to score one for freaking 20, you're going to be fine. Take you a year probably to make all that money back, but it's just a year, and this game's going to be around for a while. So we have that, and now that I'm done with that, all right, now I'm going to talk to you guys, and you know, I get people like, could you show me the reference of what page that was on? I'm like, well, fuck. No, I don't. I just been in this game long enough, and we've talked long enough. I just have this all trapped in my mind. So the main thing is, they're going to have racetracks that you can own. They're going to introduce jockeys that'll help horse performance, saddles, bridles, you know, maybe a saddle blanket, even trophies, cups for winning. All kinds of stuff. Dez, you know, they're coming out with their own crypto token. That's going to be legit. And depending on how many Genesis you own and what kind of Genesis determines how much you get in the airdrop. So there is so much more coming. It's still early. You know, you're going to see this number jump up to 10,000 users, I think. I mean, even more probably. It's just crypto gaming in general is early. But those are the kind of things that just promote more and more partnerships with major players that already have licensing in mini casinos. That's being worked on. And they're going to hold sidechain events along with, you know, I'm not saying, but as an example, like a horse cup or something, like Churchill Downs. That's probably, like, that's speculating. That's just a race. But for an example, it'd be like Churchill Downs is holding an event and Zed.Run is having an event at the same time. And Churchill Downs helps host it. It's going to be awesome. Awesome stuff coming ahead. I'm really happy I found this. And shout out to all the Zed guys. You're doing great. Doing great. If you have any questions or comments, hit me down below. Give me a like. Give me a subscription. This is not financial advice, by the way. Peace.